Okay, for the sake of argument, let's pretend that we continued playing the game after that. Okay?
Alright, yeah, there's more game to play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of us did. The rest of us can safely say we did not.
Yeah, no, that's the argument here. It's kind of like when you're watching a movie, like, and you're reviewing one, and you see a scene so terrible, and you're like, okay, for the sake of discussing the rest of the movie, let's pretend you stayed in the theater after this scene, you know,
okay.
And then they continue. Go on.
Jova started talking first.
Go on, Jova.
Right, okay. Joking aside, have any of you guys ever had a piece of media where a scene has been so bad that it actually has made you quit, say, movie, game, book, or whatever?
I'm pretty sure we all have. I know I have, but I can't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have as well, but I'm blanking on what it was. There would have been something, though, I'm sure.
Real quick before Shiro said... Sorry.
At worst, I've maybe put something down, but I've never outright quit it altogether. I'm usually pretty on that.
I am, as my wife keeps telling me, I am far too stubborn, so probably not that I can think of, because my wife keeps telling me you should stop, but I'm so stubborn that so I don't. So
the next scene is literally just us on the run, like not even trying to explain stuff.
Okay, let me explain. I was going to get into that in a moment, Jova, but okay. So just to piece those together, this is 2 days later. I forgot the name of the mountain, but the point is it's in Washington.
Wait.
Don't even try that shit.
Yeah, okay, fair point. He pointed out that they said only 2. For a moment, I thought there was a story plot that early into
No. If in case you didn't notice, it said there in the bottom left corner. It said 2 days later. So.
Oh, I know. It's just like, well, the kid said it was 4 days, but then his brother corrected him that it was 2 days. So.
This is going to become the first kind of problem. With this game that a lot of people have also talked about, not just me. Daniel himself. Daniel can be very annoying and immature throughout the entire game. Like, let me put it this way: he's supposed to be 9, but he behaves like he's a 5-year-old, and I'm going to have more specific instances where I'll talk about it. That being said,
Wait.
You just saw him being shot.
No. Remember, Dwibs. He was unconscious.
He was passed out, so we carried him away.
He didn't see anything that happened. And Sean doesn't really have the heart to break it to him, basically.
Hold on, but didn't the kid see his dad get shot, and that's why he shot the cop?
Okay. My guess is, Jova, we're supposed to interpret that he repressed the whole thing, maybe.
Okay, remind me again. How old is this kid?
9.
I feel like he should be able to process the concept of death by bullet. I'm pretty sure that, as a kid, lots of kids tend to play the games Cops and Robbers, which often includes guns, so I'm pretty sure the kid should know. Gun, meet bullet, dad dead.
Yeah.
And again, maybe I sound a bit condescending, but I'm sorry, again, I know it's early in the game, but I am not really endeared with the kid. Like, okay, the older brother.
What? Yeah, because that's how kids in 2016 talk, right? Awesome possum.
Awesome possum kicks Doctor, but she knows butts.
The jarring thing about this is that, like I said, the first part, for the most part, was a good first impression of the game and most of its dialogue. What the heck happened?
Remember, this is the same writer, and while he is indeed staying a bit more restrained with the whole hip with the kids thing, occasionally he'll throw a line like that.
I don't mind.
Fair enough.
I have to wonder if, they had some sensitivity training or, had an advisor for a story like this.
I can tell Shiro that in the behind-the-scenes featurettes, I never mentioned anything like that.
Because I know they did for Tell Me Why, which is a much better story.
Yeah.
This company would, I know it's a different set of writers, but Dontnod would eventually start to redeem themselves through that because that game is genuinely good.
The thing about Dontnod, Shiro, is that Tell Me Why was good. Okay, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, Roads. Tell Me Why is really good, like you said, Shiro. I haven't played it yet. I own it.
Oh, he leaves the zombie mask behind, thus showing him shedding his childhood innocence.
Yeah, basically.
Is that it?
Okay.
I guess you can
And
kind of say
Pedro.
that way. Where was I going? Yeah. I recently bought it on a PlayStation Store sale for only $5. The game they made after Tell Me Why, Twin Mirror, is apparently really boring, but I haven't actually started playing it yet. But so I guess we'll
I haven't
see.
heard of that one, so
It's another Life is Strange type game, but apparently it's really boring. But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Like I mentioned, this game was the big downfall of Don't Nod because the game did not do great sales-wise, and as a result, well, okay, sales were one thing, the reception, though, okay, one could argue it was mixed, one could also argue it was mixed, but ranging towards negative overall. Like, it was bad enough for Don't Nod to be booted off their own series, as I mentioned in the first part. It says something that the creators of Life is Strange Before the Storm actually ended up making a better Life is Strange game in the long run with True Colors.
Okay, here's another thing about Life is Strange 2. A lot of times the episodes kinda drag. Okay, so the premise here is that they're camping, and in case you missed it, this also starts a running theme of the story. Look, we can camp. We can be like we're wolves and shit. Well, actually, you know what? I think I'll finish explaining this later. Go on, Jova.
Look! What's that sign?
I don't know if you had something to say.
Trout Spring Trail. Oh, yeah. In regards to what I was saying earlier, again, I'm not going to pass full judgment,
You know what? You're not allowed
but
to say that.
man, it's
Ever
telling when this early into the game I can already start to
You'll be the first
see
one to know when we
hints
get
of the
okay?
main problems.
Yeah.
Tired and hungry too.
Not so much in this part. This part is mostly just going to be kind of because it's going to be mostly just them walking through the woods,
I bet we're not the first
with
people to
little plot progression to speak of. There's not even that much in terms of character interaction. Like it's mostly just them
was about-
walking.
Didn't see any cars.
Yeah, I was about to ask, do we at least get some good character bonding moments? You know, show the brothers' relationship?
There is one optional moment where you can sit on a bench and do that. I'm going to do it here. It's not that much. The writing, yes, Twiz.
Ooh,
Is this going to be like Final Fantasy 13, with just going on a straight road?
Well, no, we're actually going to have wider spaces later on, if it helps you.
Anyway, go on with what you were saying, Pedro.
Well, actually, I think we're gonna have a scene with the chocolate. Yeah, okay. So let's check that out.
So in a bit.
what is that?
Basically, that icon,
Random
basically,
car.
the blue thing means check out something with Daniel.
Be
Let's see.
fine.
Check it out. There's a chunky Choco Crisp bar on the dash.
Choco
That is
Crisp.
suspicious somebody would just abandon a car with the window partially left open.
I'm guessing it's someone who's camping in here and they just left and that's where they put the car, maybe? I don't know.
They may have left the window cracked to keep air circulation if it's a car that doesn't have good AC.
Sure, I mean,
just bad.
it's a Choco Crisp bar, and unlike them, we actually are in need of it because we don't have, we're kind of, stranded and shit. So I will argue this is one of those cases where, we need it more than they do.
How did he reach in like that? It looked like a bit of a bad angle for him with that arm.
Not to mention, we have a 9-year-old child with us, so I will argue we're doing it for a greater good.
Let me guess, this is a choice that will later have a consequence.
No, most of the choices that matter are the ones that have that little, remember that thing when I had a choice to either question Daniel or confront Brett, that thing that, there was a little line separating the two choices and shit.
Duh.
Remember that bit?
It's way
Oh, great, and now YouTube
Yeah.
is bullshitting me. Crap.
Just give us a time when you're at. We'll carry
Sure.
on here.
It's a good-
Warning trail damage.
It's a good thing there's
Oh,
nothing
yeah,
going on the. All right, cover for me for a bit.
be fine.
So, Shiroi, Dwibs, what do you guys think of the narrative overall so far?
What if the owners come after us for
Yeah.
the Choco Crisp? And they're hunters.
You're too
What'd I
old to
miss?
hunt.
We stole a Choco Crisp bar from a car, and my argument was we kind of need it more than they do.
I thought it might be a choice that has big consequences, but apparently
The
not.
sun is going down.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck is... Oh, thank fucking lord. Alright, and another thing that you missed here is that YouTube decided to fuck me over. Okay, tell me where you guys are.
We're at 10, 13, 14, 15 and counting.
Alright, just tell me when you're at 10:30.
Okay, dear.
Sure.
You have to use the bathroom?
No. It smells real bad.
No shit.
Well, you best get
Seriously?
used to it.
You gotta
And click.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Can I just pee?
Also,
on the
no
train?
shit. Shit's the problem. It's a toilet.
Yep.
I get the
As
feeling
long as
that
you
was a
don't mind
pun
the
they were
poison ivy on your
making.
balls.
Well, maybe I'll go. But don't let me get stuck in there.
Don't worry. I'll call the forest plumbers if you fall in.
Okay.
What a
You-
great bonding moment between two brothers as one of them takes a poop.
Yeah, this video is, for whatever reason, is not cooperating with me. I mean, I know it's not my internet because I'm still talking to you guys. So, okay,
You sound fine too.
hold the fort, guys. I need to do something.
Should we pause a second?
No. Keep going. I can solve this on my own.
Oh, okay.
Jova,
try watching the
Jova,
Discord as well.
Jova and Dwibs, I passed the baton to you. Carry this playthrough for a bit for me.
That's only because they need the sun. Besides,
But yeah, like I was saying, I
What if
mean,
they don't?
again, it feels weird. The
What if
first
they
part felt like it was going to at least be
attack us?
relatively fine writing-wise, but man, the minute that drama with the cop
watched Lord
starts
of
up,
the Rings
that's
with Dad
when it
like
feels like the
100
quality
times.
drops.
here's a chance to go on a real adventure. With
But this isn't New Zealand.
Eh, so,
Frodo?
where are the characters even
you're
going anywhere?
Sam?
Damn. Yeah.
well, I was thinking more like Aragorn. You
Ah.
know, brave, strong, good looking.
No way.
We're allowed to
Jose.
make those
You're
references.
Sam. Sam. And we have to find a
There's
secret
more
cave
stuff than
so we
Frodo.
can hide from the orcs.
Yeah, Sam literally killed one of the most
Okay,
powerful
okay.
eldritch abominations in the
Sam,
entire
I-
lore of Lord of the
After
Rings.
you, Master Daniel.
Sam's the real hero as far as I'm concerned.
Daniel,
You and a lot of folk.
check out this mark on the tree.
Oh,
What is that?
Alright, I should be able to...
Not exactly. It's called a trailblaze, and people used to put them up to give directions.
that's
Like
some nice
GPS?
trail trivia.
Yeah, sure. Just slightly more ancient.
Awesome. Let's follow it. Whoa.
All right then,
That place
on
is
we go.
Okay,
Alright,
considering the
can-
type of game this is, what are the odds that this trail is going to be like
Where
towards
are
a
we going?
cutscene where we show humans being bastards
Really
killing a
must be
defenseless bear?
Yeah,
or
it's like we're
something?
going to a serial killer's house. I just know.
Yeah, basically. Alright, can you give me a time, guys, please?
Okay, we are at
River must be a bit
13:08,
further.
9, 10, and
take a
counting.
look.
I'm at
Where are
13.
you at?
I'm at 13:20.
All right
I
then.
don't think
Just
Daniel
get
understands
ready.
what's going on.
In 3, 2, 1, click.
Go.
I swear the cosmic forces of the universe don't want us to play this game. You see, this is a sign,
Probably.
clearly.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think this is a sign.
Don't not know what you're doing.
Again, the thing is, I guess, to be fair,
Okay.
unlike Life
Go
is Strange, I'm not seeing the absolute badness yet. Like, again, I feel like, now, like I said, I'm seeing hints of how the narrative could get bad, but unlike Life is Strange, I don't find myself cringing like I did.
That's
from the
because
start with Life is
that's
Strange.
because Jova, Life is Strange 2 is terrible for as well. It's just that it's terrible for different reasons. Life is Strange 2 is basically what happens when a team gets so overly praised with their first game that they become overconfident and they decide that they want to tackle more ambitious political and strong themes than the first game, and as Shuri pointed out various times by this point, that was their big mistake.
You know, I always find these kind of scenarios kind of ironic. Like, yeah, Life is Strange was praised back in the day. Then before the storm came out, people didn't really like that one as much. By the time Life is Strange 2 came out, I'm pretty sure people were starting to get a lot more divided on the original Life is Strange games. And now here we are. Life is Strange is regarded incredibly mixed at best. And Life is Strange 2 is seen as the worst installment
cat
of the
food.
franchise.
We're not that desperate yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, Sean Wise. We must explore.
Ha ha, Sean Wise.
Indeed.
Somebody's shown that kid Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Well, remember, Joe, we established in the previous part that their dad used to show them the full trilogy every Christmas.
I bet nobody comes out here to picnic anymore.
Don't tell me. They used to
for us.
tour with their mother, and that's how they remember the good old
camping.
days.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry. Nobody's gonna find us out here.
But a bear
Please, you're under
might.
arrest.
Or disturb the animals?
Yeah, do not feed or disturb the animals, yeah.
What kind of animals?
Just watch out for cocaine.
What kind of animals? I'm guessing just animals in general, Daniel?
More like squirrels.
You're going for the option to try
critters.
and keep him comforted.
Just don't bother.
As always, I'm trying to pick what I think Sean would pick.
We are of them.
The problem is that
Hungry?
since Sean is
Hungry?
Sorry.
so the problem is that since Sean is not particularly well characterized,
Let's go.
I guess I just go for what tends to be the. Oh, there you go. Here's an optional scene that you can trigger if you sit on this bench.
I
Basically,
was gonna say maybe it's just because we're so. Hey, Daniel, over here.
don't worry. You're supposed to wait.
I'm so tired.
Basically,
Yeah.
at first you just stay here in a scene, and there you go. However, if you let yourself be here for long enough, you will trigger an optional
I don't
cutscene.
even know what happened.
I love how because everything's done in game, the minute you sat down at that bench, I saw Daniel's model turn around as if the scene was activated.
And there you
Look
go.
at that.
Yeah.
Yes, I too
So
enjoyed the
cool.
scenery from Brother Bear.
Never seen you get so choked up over a nice view before.
So? I've never seen anything like this. Never.
And all it
ever.
took was our dad dying for me to get to
Guess
see
you
this
haven't.
wonderful view.
I remember when Dad.
Like, okay, let's assume the kid doesn't remember what happened with the dad.
I wish Dad
How
was
did Sean
famous.
even convince his brother to
Well,
literally run away
thanks.
like this
Not cool
then?
enough anymore.
Remember, he carried him away unconscious for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, true, yeah, but what was stopping Daniel from trying to run back home when he regained consciousness?
It'll be put away.
I guess.
That's a good question, actually. I wonder what he told him.
I guess we're supposed to just assume that he trusts Sean. You know.
Like, here's an idea. Why not show what happened when he regained consciousness? That could have helped show us the bond between the brothers, and I mean, did we really need a 2-day skip already? It makes things feel needlessly segmented.
Oh, Jova, you're not gonna like this then, because that's basically this game in a nutshell. Every episode, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but every episode in this game feels so segmented from the others. Like, every time an episode ends, the next one starts in a completely different place, separate, where we leave all the characters we've met in the previous episode before, because remember, this is a road trip. Type of thing.
So would you say it's as segmented as, say, Beyond Two Souls?
Oh, hold on, this one. No
it's-
drugs, no trash, no hunting, no fireworks, no firearms, no graffiti, no excessive noise, no fucking fun whatsoever. There you go.
But yeah, is this like, Beyond Two Souls, where essentially it's loosely connected thanks to the life of this person, but everything else is pretty much just heavily episodic?
I mean, I guess you can kind of put it that way. I mean, Beyond Two Souls is still by far a far bigger disaster in structure-wise, but the structure of this game is not exactly good either. The problem, it's gonna
I should
become very.
clarify also, I'm talking specifically about
Hold
if
on.
you're playing Beyond Two Souls in chronological order. Because regularly, yeah, that thing is literally all over the goddamn...
Honestly, I will argue, even if you play it on chronological order, it doesn't really change that much. I guess it makes things easier to follow if you're playing for the first time, but honestly, in terms of actually making the plot coherent, I will argue it achieves basically nothing.
Alright, so what do we do now?
Anyway, the basic point is...
Looking for food, I guess.
Anyway, basically, just to recap something, while we're talking, they established the theme of wolves. Basically, they were talking, we're going to camp. It's like we're wolves. This is going to become a running theme throughout the game, where the brothers like to pretend that they're wolf brothers on a trip, basically.
Symbolism of
Well,
something?
if I'm going to be fair, Jova, it does lead to what is one of the best things of this game, which is the way they recap episodes when you start a new one. Basically, every time let's say when you start on episode 2, for example, if you start episode 2, the episode will start with an animated recap of episode 1, except it's an animated form, and the two brothers are shown as wolves. Basically, so basically, it's a little.
Sounds cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like one of the few good things this game has for it. If I'm going to say so myself.
They mean anymore.
Yeah, I also noticed that a wolf is the loading drawing thing in the bottom
It
right.
tells us to go straight.
Let's just say it's not even just for the recaps. The whole Wolf Brothers thing is a recurring theme, and it even comes into play into the very final choice of the game.
What were you about to
I
say,
wonder.
Shiroi?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm wondering if they
Daniel, come check this
used
out.
to I know Daniel is quite young, but I wonder if they used to pretend to play wolves, I guess, when they were a bit younger, and it's just kind of we're turning this into a game as kind of a coping.
It's okay. It's two things here. One, as far as the game tells us, no, this is their first time doing it. Second is my guess. Sure, that's exactly what you just guessed. My guess is Sean is trying his best to keep Daniel, from he's trying to preserve. He's trying to preserve his innocence and try to turn this into a game to make sure
Find more food.
he stays happy and all that shit, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what he's trying to. Which again is fine. Again, I don't have necessarily a problem with what Sean is doing. My bigger problem with this game, at least so far, is the fact that the two characters so far are not particularly well
Go, Daniel.
written. Like I said, the game jumps the gun, in my opinion at least, jumped the gun way too soon when it comes to the whole shit hits the fan thing. We got very little time to get to know the dad. We got very little time to get to know either of these two kids. It felt like they should have waited a bit more before, having the dad die.
Out here.
But that being said, might as well bring up something that Jova noticed. Yes, Jova. They are running away from the police, even though they're being cut. Okay, let me put it this way. I can, and I've said this, I can understand. I agree with Rye Bread's review. By the way, I recommend watching Rye Bread's review of this game. It's probably the best review of this game out there for me. But
No.
Rye Bread, I'll write it down. RYE and then the word bread, all in one word. The point is, okay. Like Rye Bread said in his review, I'm willing to believe what happened at the end of the last part, where Sean panicked. So, in the middle of said panic, he just picked up Daniel and ran away. That's fine. You can throw that down to panic, like he wasn't thinking. Okay, cool. That's fine. It's been 2 days now. He's had time to reflect on things. He should realize that running away from the police is in no way going to be a good thing at all, because let's think about this for a moment. He is innocent. He hasn't done anything, and yet he just preferred to just run away from the police, and instead of trying to explain that he didn't do nothing, because there is no evidence, as far as I'm aware, there is no evidence linking him to the death of the cop. Now you can. I still don't know. Now you can argue, well, what about the bully that supposedly fell? That's the thing. We don't know what happened to that bully. We never see or hear anything about that bully again. So for all I know, maybe he's fine.
The thing is,
I
we
feel-
also saw. I'm sorry. Did you want to go first, Shiroi?
I was gonna say,
I'm
maybe,
coming.
I think it's two things. One, the story this game is trying to tell, because them going to the
Hey, man, do
police
not eat those.
is probably
Seriously.
a bad idea.
Okay.
I don't disagree with Pedro, but considering the first cop they saw was not willing to listen at all, it's probably in their best
that
interest for now
dangerous?
not to go to them. Again, based on the kind of story this game is trying to tell.
Yeah.
Although,
Come on.
counterpoint, we saw
big for
what
this.
the police video captured at the very start of the game. So the police would know that something of great force
Yeah.
managed to push the cop into his police cop car enough for that to have summoned other police cars at that time.
Maybe it conveniently destroyed the footage.
That's the thing,
Well,
Shirai.
that's the thing, though. What would the police come to the conclusion of? Oh my god, the little tiny child somehow developed superhero
Yeah,
strength
that's
and
a-
pushed a man 5 times his size. Look. I'll say this. I have an easier time buying into the twisted logic with Turnabout Serenade because the court system is supposed to be messed up. But that's a pastiche of stuff. Like, Life is Strange is going for a more realistic tone. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I get that cops can be racist or whatnot, but the court system would probably not buy this.
It's two things.
Again, based on the story that this particular company is trying to tell.
Oh, sure.
Is why I was trying to make the point. I don't disagree with Jova either, but I feel like we're stuck in a certain place with this.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying, Shiroi. It's just that I refuse that logic unless the developers actually have the balls to specifically make that point. Go on.
I will say this, Shiroi. You do make a good point. The problem is that the story doesn't explain any of it.
Yeah,
so
what
for
Jova
all
said.
we know, it could have been like that, or it could have not been.
Yeah.
The writers
That's
tell
true.
us
Okay.
and give us nothing.
Again, to go back to that clip that I love so much, what kind of lazy writing is that? Isn't your job as a writer to tell me how this led to that? But anyway, okay, it's two things. One, well, actually, technically, I already mentioned my point to Shiroi, actually, so technically I can skip to the second point. Okay, see, here's the thing. Okay, like Jova said, we saw the dash cam footage. Don't worry, I can easily recap what's going on here. That might as well continue.
They're just looking for.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like this part in particular, there's not really much that happens. It's just kind of, like
Goody shelter.
Yeah, basically, they're basically going to spend the night here. Okay, where was I go? Oh yeah. Okay, so here's the basic point.
We're gonna stay in there.
Okay, you want to make this story like this. Okay, fine. Here's the problem. We saw the dash cam footage, right? As far as the police know, okay, here's what actually happened. Something exploded. We're not going to learn what until the next part, but something exploded, right? Now, don't worry. This technically doesn't. I will argue this doesn't count as a spoiler because we're literally going to learn this in a nonchalant way. It's not meant to be a secret necessarily. The cops right now are looking for Sean because Sean is being accused of killing the cop. Now, let's think about this for a moment.
Yes.
I can understand, of course, accusing Sean of fleeing the scene.
I know.
That's fine. But what evidence do they have? Again, like I said to Shiroi, I know what the writers are going for, but like Jova said, they don't actually have the balls to make sure that's what their point. So I'm just going to once again revert back to normal logic. Anyway.
Although to bring things back to your point, Pedro, Sean running away was admittedly not a good look for him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Okay. Not only is he fleeing the scene, which of course doesn't make him look good at all. Second, Mr. Cops, let me ask you, what do you have to tie Sean to the murder of the cop? He never touched the officer, so that ruins all fingerprints.
Let me guess. He's Mexican.
Well, we already, like Shira just guessed. Yes, that's what they're going for. They're going for the whole thing where every single... never mind. There you go. Shooting in South Seattle. There you go. Shooting? Okay, the cop shot someone, but it was... Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Jova. Is just a cop shooting one person considered a shooting? Usually shooting. I think like there's like a bunch of like a whole gang shooting or something like that or something.
A shooting can be
that's
like
a mass shooting.
Okay then.
Yeah. A shooting can be just one person or that. Though that being said, I'll admit my first wondering was, were they implying that the news is that the cop was shot?
No. Well, that's the thing, Jova. They accused Sean of killing the cop, which my question is how. He never touched the officer, so you can't possibly use fingerprints to reach that conclusion.
The thing is, they could have easily have solved this by just a tiny little change. Don't have it be that the police, are accusing him of killing the cop, but at least have it be that the police want to bring him in for questioning. Again, have it be that the police imagine that Sean may have been involved, but not that he's the culprit.
Exactly.
Maybe he knows something about the real assailant, and they're trying to bring him in for witness protection, but Sean misinterprets it as them wanting to go after him in that regard.
He is just a scared kid.
Yeah.
To add on to what Pedro said, they wouldn't just find they wouldn't just not find his fingerprints anywhere on the cop. They wouldn't find them on the gun either, because the cop was the only one who held it.
Exactly.
Okay,
There's literally no reason, as far as we could tell, and as you're going to learn later, Shira, when we find out exactly what that explosion was, literally nobody touched the cop. There's literally no reason. Now, they can, like Jova said, they can bring, I fully believe that, yes, you can bring in Sean back into Seattle to explain himself for fleeing the scene. That's fine. But you have nothing on him to blame him for the murder of the cop, because as far as and you're going to find out later, the cop died for seemingly no reason from their perspective, because they have no evidence of anything happening at all.
Okay, if I recall correctly, after the cop was slammed into his police car, weren't there several other cop cars pulling up around the time?
No, as far as we could see, there was only that one cop car, and there was only that one cop that we saw, at least.
Let me take a look at something.
I mean, at the beginning.
Really,
sorry, go on. No, go on.
I really feel like at least the dash cam footage shows other cop cars swarming up there. Maybe that's after at some point.
Oh, that's after the explosion, and Sean runs away before they can get to him. While Jova looks into that, might as well give a quick recap. Basically, they're preparing shit and food and blah 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 to spend the night, and we're checking our messages. Lila's going crazy, messaging us. All of our friends are basically trying to contact us. There's even a cop who somehow sent me a text. I don't know how he got my number, but he sent me a text saying, "Look, we want you to come in just to explain things. Please contact me in this number as soon as possible."
The police tend to have access to phone records and whatnot for investigations, so that's probably how he got the boy's number. Let me guess, that's like the one decent cop on the force who just wants to talk with us.
Maybe yes, maybe no. We never actually meet this cop, and we can't even reply to him, so it doesn't matter. Moving on.
So let me get this straight. A chance at nuance. It may be showing that not all the cops are bad, and the game doesn't follow through on that.
We don't need that.
Shira, can you actually believe this? Joe was expecting Life is Strange to have nuance.
God, I can't believe I'm saying this, and granted, I haven't seen the full thing on action, but from what I'm hearing, this game is making Life is Strange seem like it had more balance to it.
Well, like earlier you were saying this game doesn't strike me off as really bad. What made you change your mind?
Like I said, Dwibs, at the point we were at, it doesn't feel as bad as Life is Strange, but again, the more we're starting to learn, again, the more the cracks are showing. Keep in mind, Dwibs, we're pretty early into the game, so chances are our mindsets are due to change and develop based off of how things go.
And I will give credit every time there's a good moment. Like I've done the first game, and I will always do. But the point is,
We'll see.
where was I going? Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, Jova. I always like to do my usual diagnosis, and when it comes to these things, and here's my diagnosis: creator overconfidence. It's abundantly clear that after Life is Strange 1 got all the BAFTAs and all the Game Awards and all that praise and all those sales, it becomes abundantly clear that this team, or this is the Life is Strange 1 team, they became incredibly overconfident. They went on an ego trip where they think they're the new masters of gaming and they can do no wrong. So now we're going to make an even more ambitious game. We're going to comment on real life politics and shit.
Of course, they went more unhinged with it.
Yeah.
And look, and don't mistake this as me saying that, suddenly this makes it feel like Life is Strange is actually good. Because no, it doesn't. Life is Strange is what I would still argue to be a heavily flawed game.
I will like
I'll admit,
Sorry.
It's huge.
Go on.
I'll admit, some of the issues I'm noticing do make me realize, good lord, Life is Strange was actually them being restrained.
I mean, I want to emphasize that. I mean, at least me personally, I don't necessarily think it's impossible for a foreigner to talk about American politics. Remember, one of my favorite game franchises is about a Japanese guy talking about various politics from various countries, especially America. Even it's a fictionalized version of it, but there's a lot of real life history thrown in there, and the games even comment on that. Metal Gear, of course, but so it's not like it can't be done. Foreign people can do these things; they just have to be good writers.
Exactly. Like, let me put it like this: something like, say, Anastasia, Americans doing a movie about Russian history. That was okay. That one at least knew what it was doing. Conversely, the Pocahontas movie. Oh wait, never mind. That wasn't foreigners. That was American.
That's the sad part, Joe. It's literally Americans screwing up their own history.
Okay. Better example. The Magic Voyage. Germans trying to do European/American history.
Yeah.
Did not go well. The point is, yes, it's possible for foreigners to do it. That being said, if it comes out looking bad, you tend to look like an elitist snob misinterpreting stuff on a whole foreign nation, which is not a good look, per se.
Exactly. All right, everybody. In the next part, we're going to reach a gas station where we're going to get some new stuff with the money that we do have, and it's time for the game to completely show its true colors.
No pun intended.
But we're not at the next game yet.
But anyway, before we cut off, I looked back at part 1, and the dash cam footage just showed that there was like a 3-minute interval between the cop hitting the car and the other cops showing up. So as far as we know, the other cops are completely in the dark since the cam footage apparently shorts out for that time.
You know what? That's a good point that you just brought up. If this cop was a rookie, like it clearly seems to be, they never specified that he was a rookie, but I'm pretty confident he is. It's pretty a reasonable assumption. Why was he on his own? Why didn't have a more experienced partner with him? Isn't it usually the thing with rookies where they are assigned to an experienced partner so that, that experienced partner can look out for the rookie and, teach him shit and help him if there's a problem? Isn't that usually how it is?
That's ideally how it works out, to my knowledge.
Then why is this rookie, driving around in the cop car on his own?
I know he's probably just on neighborhood watch or whatever, but he should probably have a supervisor, not just because of these events, but also just cause.
Yeah.
That's another problem I'm noticing with this narrative. Even when we
just cause another square IP.
I'm starting to notice another issue with this narrative. Every time we try and give the narrative the benefit of the doubt, that just raises more plot holes when we actually take into consideration how it would work under those circumstances.
Trust me, Jova. The more this game goes on, the more the plot falls apart. Trust me, it's gonna get worse. Next time is going to this is the next part, everybody, where we will learn that racism is wrong again.
No, duh. See ya.
See ya.